one student messaged that missed all the earlier classes. Can I start from today? Yes, you can start from today, but meanwhile complete the recorded classes. Okay, so starting a new unit today, you will be able to understand, but complete the recorded classes. So good afternoon, all of you. Thank you. And I just realized that I totally lost my smell. So you know, in that tension. 2 minutes back, I realized that I'm not even getting a strongest smell also. Last 2-3 days, I had a little cold and slight fever. Today, I'm not even getting the strongest smell. Don't know. I frequently get cold, but I never lost my smell. Yes, I thought it is a simple cold, but today I feel that I should get it tested. I still did not give the test, not even vaccine. Just 5 minutes, that's why I was late today, 2-3 minutes. Just 10 minutes back, I got that out. Then I went on smelling everything in my home. I was not getting any smell. Yes. Should see. She's fine. Like actually, I got from her only last 10 days back. She got cold and fever more than 10 days back. So from her, I got some 4 days back. So now my new worry is maybe like what if her infection is different and my infection is different. I took for granted that I got it from her only. But now first time got the doubt, what if this is a different infection? I'm totally at home. That was the reason why I didn't feel the need of giving the test. But still, losing smell is something unique that never happened to me. I frequently get throat infection cold, but that never happened to me. Okay. So Lipi, how are you today? It's good. Let me hope like that only. No, nothing like that. Nothing like trouble. You never troubled me that way. So, yes, I should take the test. I called one person, he said he'll come tomorrow. And I felt better because by evening they will take sample from many people. Okay. So we were discussing the economic anthropology yesterday. We started with that. I'm not feeling uncomfortable. In fact, my cold also reduced. It's fine, but fear. Namaste. Okay. So, tell me, Ani. Thank you, Amisha. So, yes, Anil, tell me your doubt. Foreign antibodies and self-antigens do react, but that is a negligible effect, okay? Because the reaction will not continue. They just form some antigen-antibody complexes and they will get disintegrated. But the blood will not coagulate. Blood will not coagulate because of the reaction between foreign antibodies and self-antigens, okay? Severe reactions occur only between foreign antigens and self-antibodies, okay? If you already have some self-antigens and foreign antibodies coming, they may combine with each other. They will form some antigen and antibody complexes, but they will get eventually disintegrated, but we will not have any severe reaction as such, like blood coagulation because of that. So, because these antigens are present on the RBCs of the baby, okay? And second thing is the concentration matter from the mother to the baby, high concentration of antibodies are going. So these are the two reasons why the baby will have erythroblastosis fetalis. There also it is not like blood coagulation. The RBCs will break down because the antigen is there on the RBC. Okay, actually it is a simple antigen and antibody reaction. It's not kind of a blood coagulation, but the RBCs will break down here. Okay, so here very high concentration of antibodies are going from the mother to the baby. Okay. Yes, of course, foreign. Like for the baby, mother is foreign. For the mother, baby is foreign. So that's not self. Okay. So coming to economic anthropology, right? Yes, I have to go for the test. I decided that. Till now, I was like, it's okay. It's like a common fever. Now the main fear is if I got it from my daughter, then it is okay. But if hers is a common cold and if mine is positive, then I just don't know what to do. That is the actual fear I have now. Okay, leave that. Coming to economics versus economic anthropology. Okay, so yesterday we have seen what is economics. It is a study of how to be economic. It means it's a study of how to spend little and get maximum. It is a study of how to satisfy unlimited wants by allocating, by properly allocating the scarce resources. Okay, kind of where to invest, what to do, what if we do, we can utilize our scarce resources to satisfy our unlimited wants. Okay, so this is what is economics. Is economics clear? Then and this is, we also call this as neoclassical economics. Neoclassical economics or modern economics. Okay, and we have this in modern societies. We have this in modern societies, right? Modern societies means what? Like capitalist societies, right? In a capitalist society, whatever we do, we keep making those choices only. Look at here. Make choices on allocating scarce resources to satisfy unlimited wants. Okay, so whatever we do, not only in our purchases, in every decision, in almost every decision. Let us suppose, like in capitalism, why do you think, let us suppose if you take poor people, rich people, okay, why do you think, okay, first of all, whom do you think will give birth to more children? Rich people or poor people? General observation. Exceptions possible, but general observation, poor people tend to give birth to more children, okay, and rich people do not prefer to give birth to more children, right? Okay, so one logic behind that, say for example, according to Karl Marx, why poor people give birth to more children? Okay, reason is they don't have other resources as capital, they don't have other investment. So they have only manpower as investment. They have only manpower as capital. Okay, so they tend to give birth to more number of children. Is Karl Marx's opinion. In his view, that is the reason. We don't know what. Like there are many reasons. Exact reason we cannot say. Okay, but higher class people do not give birth to more children. And there is one more theory which says that. Let us suppose we use a phrase here called intergenerational wealth flow. Got it? Intergenerational wealth flow between two generations. Wealth is flowing in which direction? For example, parents to children. Parents to children. If the wealth is going from parents to children, then in such families, parents tend to give birth to less number of children. Then if the wealth is flowing from children to parents, younger generation to older generation, then in such families, parents tend to give birth to more number of children. This is another observation. Okay, more, less. Reason is, let us suppose, in most of the middle class or higher class families, parents give property to the children. Okay, it is little that children can do the parents financially. Agreed? For example, if your father himself is an IAS officer or your father himself is a businessman, so you have very little to do to your parents financially. Okay, other forms of support you may give. But when it comes to, if they give, in fact, the wealth is flowing from parental generation to the younger generation, they give you property. Is it clear? So in such cases, parents tend to give birth to lesser number of children because the property will not get diluted. Is it clear? Okay, the property will not get diluted. If they give birth to 4 children, the property gets distributed among the 4. All the 4 will be poorer when compared to the parent. Agreed? Okay, all the 4 will be poorer when compared to the parent. So that is the reason why they tend to give birth to lesser number of children. Whereas in poor families, parents have nothing to give to the children. No property to give to the children. Not even a home, no property. Okay, they are depending on day wages. In that case, who is giving wealth to whom? Children are giving wealth to the parents. So in such cases, they tend to give birth to. It means what? Whether to have more children or less children is also based on this logic only. Okay, here I'm speaking about one logic or one rational. Okay, so what is this? Okay, this is about making a choice between maximize profit, minimize the investment. Okay, how to spend little and earn maximum. This is the logic. Okay, earn more, spend little. This is the logic. So our entire life is based on this logic only. Okay, obviously when you go to a shop, okay, let us suppose in one place, we do the market survey. We spoke yesterday. We do the market survey. Wherever the quality is good but the cost is less, we prefer to take the goods from that particular place. Agreed? That is obvious. You all might have, means we do it consciously. You know that. But unconsciously, there are many decisions in our life which we take by applying the same logic. Number of children, how many children to have? Do you agree? How many children to have is based on the same logic. Agreed? Okay. Then one more question. Whom to marry? Leave exceptions. Leave some love marriages. Leave some, in the love marriages also there can be economic interest, but okay. Leave some exceptionally affection-oriented marriages. Leaving them. Most of the arranged marriages, particularly arranged marriages. Is it an economic decision? Who takes lesser amount of dowry and earns more? Okay. And in many arranged marriages, they even literally go there to check whether the property they claim is really their property or not. Did you hear it or experience it? Okay, they do the inquiry. For example, if the boy claims that he's having some 10 acres of land, okay, they'll go to the village and they will really inquire whether that 10 acres is really his property or not. Okay. So ask your parents maybe. Okay. Same way like job also. They literally go to the office or a nearby place to know whether he is really working there or not. Is it clear? So it means what? Like before going for an arranged marriage, they check whether whether the boy is having an owned house or not, or a proper job or not. Is it clear? Okay. And some property or not. Isn't it? So it means what? Marriage is also an economic decision. Marriage is or relatives interaction is also an economic decision. Joint family or nuclear family? Why do you think earlier we had joint family? Now we have nuclear families because earlier joint family was economically profitable. Okay. Do you remember in family impact of industrialization of family we have discussed? In the olden days, the economy was a traditional economy. Okay. And younger generation used to learn the skills from the parents. For example, a carpenter learns carpentry from the father, and also he will get orders based on the goodwill of his father. So staying with father is profitable for him. Did you understand? Okay. More business comes because of the goodwill of the father. Okay, or agriculture, common land will be there, agricultural land will be there. So if I get separated, probably they may not give me my share. Do you understand? Okay, other brothers may cheat. Okay, so this is how, like, whether to stay in a joint family. Presently, there is no economic obligation. There is no common agricultural land. Okay, it's not that the younger generation is learning the skills from father. Okay, so there is no economic obligation. That is one reason, one important reason why the joint families are changing into nuclear families, and why old age homes are increasing. Why old age homes are increasing? Because it's not economic to take care of the parents. Did you understand? Okay, so whether to stay in a joint family or nuclear family, or whether to stay, like, why people are leaving their own native villages, native, like, home country, okay, parents, relatives, and going to some other countries and settling. Okay, so where to work, what business to do, whom to marry, whether to stay in a joint family or not. Is it clear? Okay, so everything is based on this logic. Agreed? How to spend a little, earn maximum. Okay, because in Western countries that started earlier. Okay, what we are saying today started a few decades back in the Western countries, right? Okay, this is modern economics. Is it clear? Okay, I'm using the words. Remember the words, please. Neoclassical economics. Neoclassical economics or modern economics is based on that logic or that rational thinking. Logic or that rational thinking. Here, logical thinking, rational thinking does not mean, I don't mean to say in general logical thinking. I'm not speaking about being scientific, being rational, being logical. No. I'm speaking about a one particular logic. What is that specific logic we are discussing about here? How to spend minimum and earn maximum. Okay, this is one particular logic we are speaking about. This is important, listen carefully. We are not speaking about in general being scientific, logical, rational thinking. So I'm not speaking about that. I'm speaking about one particular logic, not being logical in general. What is that one particular logic? How to spend minimum, how to earn maximum. Our complete life revolves around this logic. Is it clear? This neoclassical economics, modern economics is nothing but capitalism. Capitalist mindset. Clear till now? So throughout economic anthropology, today, tomorrow, throughout economic anthropology, whenever I use the word logic, please don't think that this is in general being scientific or logical. No, I'm speaking about a particular logic. When I say logic or rational thinking, this sentence should strike to you. For your visual memory, I have written it here. Okay, so today and tomorrow, whenever I speak the word logic or rational, I'm speaking about this particular logic. Okay, then. Now, coming to primitive societies. For example, do you think centenarians will also think based on this logic only? Do you think their life revolves around this logic? No. Reason is, they neither have scarce resources nor have unlimited wants. Simple. They neither have, by this logic, okay, to allocate scarce resources to satisfy unlimited wants. We have unlimited wants, but we have scarce resources. But what about centenarians? They neither have unlimited resources. They neither have scarce resources. In fact, they have unlimited resources. Agree? Do you agree if I say centenarians have unlimited resources? For example, they are living in an island community. Some around less than 100 people are living. Unlimited ocean. How many ever fish they want, they can catch and eat. Okay? So, very limited population, unlimited natural resources. And do they have unlimited wants? What do you think? Like, will they purchase an air conditioner or BMW car or have a flight journey to some foreign tour? Like, what they do? They just have to survive. Okay? Even if they have additional, they don't know what to do. Is it clear? So, they neither have scarce resources nor have unlimited wants. So, their life will not revolve around this logic. Agreed? They enjoy their dance, for example, in archaeological anthropology, See, like, let me give you one small statement. If you consider richness to be only the goods we have, okay? In the history, a king is much poorer than me. Why? Because I have air conditioner. Poor king do not have an air conditioner. Fine, correct? Is it correct? Is it correct? Is the king poorer than me or you? No. So it means richness or poverty is not having number of goods. Is it clear? Today, like, let us suppose around 35-40 years back, okay, 35-40 years back, most of the families did not have a television. Very rich families also, very rich families also did not have a television. But today, even the very poor families also have a television. Okay, what about mobile phone? Okay, so few decades back, even the richest person did not have the mobile phone. But even today a beggar is also having a mobile phone. So today's beggar is he richer than 40 years back industrialist? Goods will increase. That is modernization. Okay, civilization, modernization. So because of civilization, people may have more number of goods, but that is not richness. Not having goods is not poverty. The king was not suffering from poverty because he was not having an air conditioner. Agree? We cannot say the king was suffering from poor, king suffering from poverty. Not like that. Okay, so richness is not having goods. Poorness is poverty is not having the goods. Okay, then what is richness, poverty? Okay, this is status. Okay, richness and poverty is nothing but status. It is relativity. Okay, so relative to somebody, he is poor. Relative to somebody, he is rich. So richness and poverty is a status. It is not based on the number of goods. Number of goods will go on increasing due to civilization, due to modernization. Do you understand my point? So how do they enjoy? Means what? Like how the prehistoric people enjoyed. Okay, it's not that only we are enjoying. Probably we are much more sadder. Okay, so maybe our lives are full of stress. Maybe they lived happy. We don't know because we don't know how to measure happiness. We cannot say that we are happier than centenarians. Agreed? Okay. So we cannot say we are happier than centenarians. We may say like we may say we are comfortable. That I agree. We are comfortable. Okay, we are living a comfortable life than the kings at one point of time. Okay, even quite a middle class person today is much comfortable. Okay, but we cannot speak in terms of happiness. They enjoyed, like for example, in cave paintings, we have group dances. So they must have sang, they must have danced, they must have choked upon each other. They must have enjoyed, definitely, no doubt. Some recreation would have been there, right? So now, so it means primitive societies or simple societies' life did not revolve around this logic. Okay, so what is economic anthropology? What is economic anthropology? It is a field that attempts to explain human economic behavior in its widest historic, geographic, and cultural scope. Let me explain this. Okay, like today we choose our occupation based on what, which job, like not particularly you. In general, people choose what kind of job, what kind of business. which is more profitable, right? Less work, more money, right? Okay, then because our lives revolve around that logic. But we just realized that like in simple societies, their life do not revolve around that logic. In that case, on what basis do they decide their occupation? How do they decide? You know, how do we decide our occupation? How do they decide their occupation? Okay, family occupation, traditional occupation, right? So that is the reason why here the word historic. Agreed? Historic. Historically, what they have been doing, they continue that. Okay. Then is there any other reason? Is there any other reason? Look at here. Geographic availability of resources. For example, Sentinelese is an island community, so they are fishing. Okay. Same way, if there is a forest community, can they say that fishing is profitable, so I will do fishing only? No, they have to do hunting or shift cultivation. Is it clear? And a coastal area tribe cannot say, see, fishing is risky, I will do shift cultivation. Not possible. Shift cultivation is not possible in the coastal area. So they have to. There is no choice. It's not choice. It is not logical decision making. It means like Sentinelese are not fishing because it is profitable. Sentinelese are fishing because that is their geographic reality. Is it clear? Agreed? And cultural scope. Okay, culture. This is my culture, so I will do that. Okay, my family, tradition, culture, history. So this is how they choose. This is economic anthropology. Economic anthropology is a field that attempts to explain human economic behavior in its widest historic, geographic, and cultural scope. Is the difference between economics and economic anthropology clear for all of you? Because this was a previous question. Economics versus economic anthropology. Okay, and between these two, which one more suits for modern societies, modern capitalist societies? Economics. Which one suits the traditional, simple socialist societies, communist societies? I'm using another word, primitive communism. Okay, see, present-day communist party, that is different. Okay, primitive communism is different. At one point of time, actually, there was a communism. Communism means what? Common property. Common property. Everybody will consume whatever they want. Everybody will commonly own the property. There is no private property ownership. So, in fact, human society started as communism. Is it clear? So, due to the revolutionary parties, movements, and all, if we again get communism, then that means coming back. And yes, that happens. Okay, it means the societies will change in such a way that they again become similar to a previous stage. Did you understand my point? Sometimes societies change in such a way that they again become similar to a previous stage. So that is possible. It means we may get communism or socialism in future again. In some countries it came in the Soviet Union, China, okay, but they could not retain it either completely or partially. They lost it because of the influence of neighboring capitalist countries. Okay, so that is modern day communism or socialism. But human societies in fact started as primitive communism. So economic anthropology is more suitable to primitive communism. Okay, and economics is more suitable to economics means neoclassical economics, the capitalist economics. Is it clear? Okay, fine. So we understood the difference between economics and economic anthropology. Next, its origin. Okay, economic anthropology origin as a subfield of anthropology. Okay, economic anthropology is a subfield of anthropology. Began with Bronislaw Malinowski, familiar person functionalist. We discussed about him earlier many times. And remember, in economic anthropology, we study so much about Malinowski. Okay, that all these things will be, even this case study Trobriand Islanders also will be completed here itself. Most of Malinowski's work will be completed in economic anthropology itself. I will only remind about these in Unit 6 when we discuss about Malinowski. Is it clear? I will not repeat them again. So listen carefully. So who started economic anthropology as a subfield in anthropology? Bronislaw Malinowski and his French compatriot Marcel Mauss. Malinowski and Marcel Mauss. Okay, they began this economic anthropology as one new field or branch in anthropology. Okay, and they studied the nature of reciprocity as an alternative to market exchange. Yes, Bronislaw Malinowski is his complete name. Okay, so they studied, these two people, okay, that is Marcel Mauss and Malinowski, studied the nature of reciprocity as an alternative to market exchange. Reciprocity means what? You know, barter system. Barter system. I give you cotton, you give me wheat. Okay, there is no money in between. That is reciprocity. Reciprocity means give and take, exchange. And market exchange means what? Cash. Exchange with cash. I give you cash, you give me wheat. Okay, that is market exchange. Got it? What is market exchange? Exchange of the goods for cash, currency. Just exchange of commodities is called as reciprocity. Example, simple barter system. And in Indian context, judge money system. Okay? So in the Indian context, judge money system is also reciprocity. Give and take. I give you this, you give me that. Or I will do this service for you. Judge money system is slightly different from barter system. Because in barter system, it is only exchange of goods. Whereas in judge money system, it is exchange of goods and services. Okay? For example, a barber, a weaver, they all would offer their services to the judgment. Judgment word originated from Yajman. Judgment word originated from Yajman. And more about judge money system we will discuss in paper 2. We have judge money system in paper 2 because Indian anthropology. Okay? So, Malinowski and Marcel Mauss studied reciprocity as an alternative to market exchange. Clear? And for the most part, studies in economic anthropology focus on exchange in contrast to Marxian school known as political economy, which focuses on production. Okay? Modern economics, compatriot is a friend. Okay? So, like modern economics focuses on production, whereas economic anthropology, this reciprocity, focuses on exchange of goods. Okay? Clear till now? And Marxian school is also called political economy because in the modern days in capitalist societies, The economy is even in the governments also. If you observe, see, even the governments, firms and nations will make this logical decision. So we call this as political economy. We call this as political economy. Is it clear? Okay. And the last point is this one. Just think about this. So I think I explained. Abhisha, clear? Okay. Then, so tribal economy is a part of the tribal social totality. This has been actually demonstrated by Malinowski and Marshall's armies. Then here some examples are given. Next. Economics is closer to actor-oriented or formal economy. Okay, then what is this actor-oriented formal economy? Okay, remember these words, I'll explain you in a few minutes. Then economic anthropology is closer to system-oriented or substantive economy. System-oriented or substantive economy. I'll show you some previous questions. Look at these 3 questions. Critically examine formalist and substantivist views on applicability of economic laws in the study of primitive societies. Okay, formalist, substantivist. Okay, remember the words. Next one, critically examine the debate between formalists and substantivists. Repetition, as it is repetition. Then one more question, differentiate between economics and economic anthropology. This is also in fact a repetition. Okay, reason is economics is closer to formalism, economic anthropology is closer to substantivism. Do you understand my point? And don't worry about the word. Now don't worry about what is formalism, what is substantivism. That is what we are going to discuss. That is what is actually the topic now. Okay, but first familiarize the words. There are 2 views, formalism, substantivism. What is formalism? Formalism is like capitalism. Substantivism is like socialism or communism. Understood? Why? Because you know subsistence economy. Did you hear the word subsistence? Subsistence means just enough for consumption. Just enough to survive. For the need, not for the greed. Subsistence, food. Just for food. Okay? Food, survival, basic needs. That is called as subsistence. Right? Fulfilling the basic needs. Formal economy means not casual, formal systematic economy that we have today. So formalism, capitalism. Okay? Substantivism, primitive communism. Clear? So now tell me between economics, economic anthropology, between economics and economic anthropology, which is closer to formalism? Because I just told you formalism is like capitalism. Substantivism is like primitive communism. So economics is closer to formalism. And economic anthropology, because if you remember what is economic anthropology, economic anthropology says that it explains the human economic behavior in its historical, geographic, okay, cultural perspectives, right? Means people choose their occupation based on their historic, geographical and cultural perspectives, not based on the profit. So economic anthropology is closer to the substantivist economies, right? So the second one is also indirectly a repetition. Same question. 3 times, 2011, 13, 15, over a span of 4, 5 years, 3 times this question was repeated. So important. And on the whole, how many previous questions do you think we got from economic anthropology? Okay. On the whole, some 7 or 8 questions, and I'm speaking in terms of 10 years. Okay. I'm speaking in terms of 10 years previous questions. Okay. So in 10 years, you have around some 9 previous questions, 9 to 10 previous questions. 3 out of them are only from formalism, substantivism. So it is such important topic. Clear? Okay. Then after that, next important topic we will be discussing is types of reciprocity in simple societies. Reciprocity means exchange. Types of exchange in simple societies. That is next important topic. And if you observe, 3 more questions are from that topic. With the help of appropriate examples, explain various forms of exchange systems. Discuss different modes of exchange in simple societies. Discuss the impact of globalization on tribal economy. This is a different question, but these 2 are from reciprocity, types of exchange. So 2 important topics in economic anthropology. Let us just see the syllabus also. Okay, here they have given formalist, substantivist debate. Did you notice? Then meaning, scope, relevance of economic anthropology. From this, that question, economics versus economic anthropology. From this, those are the 2 previous questions. Okay, then after that we have exchange, reciprocity, redistribution and market. From this, we have those 2 questions. So these are some important topics in economic anthropology. And what we are going to discuss now is formalist versus substantivist debate. Okay, so with that we will be able to answer around 3 to 4 previous questions. Okay, so the topic we are discussing is formalist versus substantivist debate. Before that, and they are also called as other names are actor oriented. Okay, why that is called actor oriented? For example, today, do you choose your occupation or your community? Your caste, your community? You will choose. At the maximum, your mother, father will influence, right? But not your caste, not your community, right? And okay, if you do some job, okay, will your earnings go to your entire caste or to your entire religion, or will be credited to your bank account? Your bank account, not even to your mother or father or brother, right? So, I am taking the decision about which job to do, and I will get the earning individually. So this is actor-oriented economy. Can I say that? Actor-oriented. Actor means what? The person who is doing the job. Okay, he will own the property. Actor-oriented. System-oriented means what? System-oriented means what? System will decide which occupation to do. For example, if you have a pastoral tribe, okay, pastoral tribe, okay, means what? In that tribe, everybody is a pastoralist. Pastoralism means maintaining herds of animals. In that tribe, everybody is a pastoralist, right? Means what? He did not choose to be a pastoralist, but the system decided. You need not even go back till the tribal societies. Think about caste societies, okay? Traditional Indian caste society. Caste determines which occupation the person should do. The modernization, of course, our modern occupations are not based on the caste. But traditional occupations, weaver caste, Brahmin caste, barber caste, right? So, like that. So many, like caste-based occupation. Means the occupation is not decided by the actor. The occupation is not decided by the actor. The occupation is decided by the system. System decided that he should be a priest. System decided that he is going to do the unclean professions. Is it clear? Lower caste people will do unclean professions. Purest occupations will be done by the higher caste people. This is what is decided by the system. So now, mix and match. Actor-oriented, system-oriented. Substantive economy, formal economy. Mix and match. System means, you can say it is society. It's a caste system, we say. A particular way of doing it. Okay. Capitalism is a system, caste system, we have system is a particular way of doing it. It implies to a particular society also. So actor-oriented is formalism. System-oriented is substantivism. Okay. One more matching, please. Capitalism. Okay. Primitive communism. Actor-oriented, system-oriented. Capitalism, actor-oriented. Okay. And primitive communism, system-oriented. Got the clarity? But one very important point you have to observe here, which many people do not observe, is, okay, here the debate is not between formalism and substantivism. The debate is between formalist and substantivist. Okay, observe that first. This is not between formalism versus substantivism. This is wrong. The debate is not between formalism and substantivism. Okay, don't guess. This is much deeper than what you guess here. So wait for a while. Okay, so of course they are thinkers, but this is much beyond that. So please don't guess, wait for a while. So first you have to observe the debate is not between formalism and substantivism, it is between formalist and substantivist. Okay, and check the questions also. In questions also it is quite evident. Look at here. Formalist, substantivist views. Debate between formalists and substantivists. Okay, at 3 places I made you observe, so don't again commit mistake. So this is not between formalism and substantivism. Okay, means what? Like you said, of course, you might be thinking, okay, will the formalism and substantivism debate? People will debate. No, why is she saying so much? It is obvious, it is between formalist and substantivist only. This is what you must be thinking, right? Will the concepts debate anywhere? People only will debate. But what I'm trying to explain is little more deeper than that. Okay, now let me explain the meaning of what I said. Okay, the meaning of what I said is, this is not a debate between whether capitalism is correct or socialism is correct. Did you understand? This is not the debate between whether capitalism is correct or socialism is correct. That is not our topic. That economists will decide. We have nothing to do with that. Do you understand? Anthropologists have nothing to do with whether capitalism is better or communism is better. That is a subject of economics. That is not our topic. Is it clear? Then what is our topic? Okay, what is our topic? An anthropologist's concern is to do anthropological research. Anthropological research is mostly research on culture. Okay, you want to study the culture of somebody. Okay. Let us suppose, and this is the reason why I made it very clear that this logical thinking is not only when it comes to our purchases. It is based on our culture also, whom you will marry, how you will get married, how much importance you give to the parents, how many children you are going to have. Are these all aspects of your culture? Which language you speak? Do you know these days in families, in most of the middle class families, if the children speak in native language, mothers are scolding. Okay, speak English. So this is a demand in schools. Speak English. Why? Why don't we respect native language? Okay, because it's not profitable. Okay, you'll get a better job if you speak English well. What you will do with your native language? This is the mindset. Is it clear? So everything, okay, everything is based on, our culture is based on that economic logic. Is it clear? Okay. So, if we have to understand our culture, it means, let us suppose if you have to understand how that girl is choosing that particular boy, why not the other type of boy? Why not the other boy? Okay, so this is based on economics. If we have to understand why they are rejecting their own language and very difficultly speaking a foreign language. Okay, to understand everything we need neoclassical principle. Agreed? Neoclassical principle. Neoclassical principle means this one. This is the neoclassical principles. Our culture is determined by neoclassical principles. Okay, now listen very carefully. Don't take this as obvious. There is a sensitive point here. Complete concentration. So our culture is based on neoclassical principles. So we can understand modern culture by applying the neoclassical principles, neoclassical economics principles. Agree? We can understand modern culture by applying the neoclassical economics principle. Okay. Think about that term. So I'm writing one statement. If you want, write down. We can understand modern culture by applying neoclassical economics principles. Understand? Our target is understanding the culture. We have nothing to do, okay, by knowing whether capitalism is good or socialism is good. That is not our debate. Our concern is only about how to understand cultures. Is it clear? We have nothing to do with economics. This is anthropology. Okay. So what is our concern? Our concern is how to understand culture. Then why are we studying economics? Because our culture is based on this principle. Everything we do, our lifestyle is based on this principle. If one particular lifestyle is not profitable, we will change that. Did you understand? Okay. Then, so in this there is no debate. Now one question. Okay, complete concentration. Think about it. Keep thinking about it. Can we understand the Sentinelese culture? Okay, when I say Sentinelese culture as a representative of primitive society, because that's the most primitive society we know, right? So as an example, I'm taking Sentinelese, right? I mean to say some very primitive society. Okay, so can we understand Sentinelese culture by applying the same neoclassical economics principle? Can we understand the Sentinelese culture by applying the same neoclassical economics principle? No, right? So we have to apply different principles to understand their culture. All of you said no, right? All of you said no. It means all of you are substantivists. Okay? All of you who said no, it means when I asked you, that is, can we understand Sentinelese culture by applying the neoclassical economics principles? All of you said no. It means all of you are substantivists. Substantivists argue that we cannot apply the neoclassical economics. We cannot apply neoclassical economics principle to understand the culture of simple societies. They are called substantivists. Asif Ali, wonderful, exactly. Substantivists are, okay, the substantivist approach is cultural relativism. Agree? Do you all agree with Asif Ali? Okay, they are different. So you have to understand them based on different principles. Yes, that is correct. Substantivist, okay, approach is similar to cultural relativism. Substantivist approach is similar to cultural relativism. Clear? Himish, did you miss culture chapter? Unit 2 culture chapter? Then please complete that. That is very important. Culture chapter will be behind you throughout anthropology. Okay? And without attending culture chapter, Unit 2 culture, we cannot even understand Unit 6 theories also. Okay? Any social anthropology unit we have to understand. Okay? We have to definitely understand culture chapter. In Unit 2 culture is very important. Okay? I covered all the basics in that. Okay, one sentence answer to Dream IPS. Okay, cultural relativism means understanding the behavior of a group of people or any person in relation to their culture. Means what, don't see from your goggles. Okay, step into their shoes and understand. That is called as cultural relativism. Okay, and now, who are formalists? Who are formalists? Formalists say that we can apply the same neoclassical economics principle even to study or understand the culture of simple societies. Okay, we can apply the same neoclassical economics principle to study the culture of simple societies also. Okay, this is closer to ethnocentrism. Ethnocentrism. Clear for all of you? Anybody having any doubt? Formalist viewpoint, formalist approach is comparable to cultural relativism. Sorry, substantivist approach is comparable to cultural relativism. Formalist approach is comparable to ethnocentrism. Kapil, did not understand? Others? Okay. Kulpreet, formalist approach looks wrong, right? Looks wrong. So what let it look wrong? It means you are a substantivist. If one of them looks absolutely correct, okay, why do we want a formalist approach looks right? Then you don't need substantivist approach, right? So if one of the approaches looks wrong to you, it's okay. Let it look wrong, no problem. Is it clear? Okay, and for him, I don't remember what he felt wrong. Others may feel the opposite approach wrong. Okay, you may feel substantivist approach wrong. Others may feel the formalist approach wrong. Okay, that's okay, that's fine. Right? Those are all different views. There is nothing like an absolute fact here. There is a reason why there is a debate between these two. Clear for all of you? Anybody having any doubt? Kapil said no, I didn't understand for what he said no. Kapil, did you understand? Opposite cultural relativism, seeing everyone with, yeah. Okay, thank you. So this is substantivist versus formalist debate. Simple ethnocentrism versus cultural relativism debate. Okay, so it's not as simple as like if not formalism versus substantivism. Obviously, people only will fight. No, not like that. So this is something totally different. Okay, so formalism, substantivism are different. Formalist, substantivist are different. Formalism, substantivism are related to economics, whereas formalist, substantivist are related to anthropology. Formalist approach is ethnocentric approach. Okay, and the substantivist approach is cultural relativist approach. So they both are only about how to study culture. Okay, see for example, in general, what is the problem with capitalism? Inequality, exploitation, right? What is the problem with communism, socialism? Slow growth and development. Agreed? Because we will not have, see, greed is one driving force. I want more is the reason why people work more. Okay, so that is the reason why capitalism was responsible for such a speedy growth in science and technology. Okay, so the advantage of capitalism is, don't write anything, just the advantage of capitalism is fast growth and development. Okay, and the disadvantage is inequality, exploitation. Whereas in socialism or communism, if you take advantage is equality. Just imagine how wonderful the society will be. There is no exploitation, there is no inequality, everybody will be equal. Okay, but the problem is it may slow down the development. There is a counter argument against it. Okay, but this is not our debate. Okay, so in general, in economy, there is a debate whether socialism is good or capitalism is good. But that is not our worry. What is our worry? How to understand cultures. Did you understand? Our concern is only about how to understand cultures. So that is the reason why if you look at this question will make you exactly understand what they wanted. Okay, look at here. Critically examine formalists and substantivists views on what? On applicability of economic laws. They are debating about what? Applicability of economic laws. In what? Applicability in what? In the study of primitive societies. In the study of beautifully constructed question. Okay, so formalist substantivist views on applicability of economic laws. Can we apply these economic laws? in the study of primitive societies or not. And if you observe here, they have given applicability in the study of primitive societies only. Why? Because there is no debate about modern societies. Modern economic laws are applicable to modern societies. There is no debate about that. Did you understand? Both of them will agree that neoclassical economics are applicable to modern societies. Now keep the modern societies aside. Now the debate is, can we apply the same rules to understand primitive societies also or not? Okay. Answer this question, all of you. Are neoclassical economics applicable to modern societies? Are neoclassical economic principles applicable to modern societies? Very good. Is there any debate about that? Is there any debate about that? So all these people are debating about the applicability of these economic laws to what? Applicability of these economic laws to what? Primitive societies. This is what exactly they are asking. These are two more questions with same meaning. Okay, but the question is not clear. In this question, in fact, he totally explained the concept. Okay. So sometimes by seeing some previous questions, we will get more clarity on what they want. Okay, fine. So now the debate between substantivist and formalist economic models was first proposed by Karl Polanyi in his book The Great Transformation, which refers to the divide means difference between modern market-dominated societies and non-Western, non-capitalist, pre-industrial societies. Okay, so who initiated this debate? Karl Polanyi. Actually, what is the debate? First point, what is the debate? Substantivist, formalist debate. Who initiated the debate? Karl Polanyi. In which book? Okay, debate means they don't come on the street and shout on each other. Debates mostly happen in the form of articles or books. Okay, so he will write one article, they will write a counter article, or they write books on each other. So that is how they fight. Okay, so Karl Polanyi in his book The Great Transformation. This debate is about what? Which refers to the difference between modern market-dominated societies and non-Western, non-capitalist, pre-industrial societies. Okay, right. Then the debate was on whether the methods employed by neoclassical economics are applicable to the study of simple societies, isn't it? The debate was on whether the methods employed by neoclassical economics are applicable to the study of simple societies. Then what is the viewpoint of substantivists? Substantivists are those who believe that neoclassical economics is not applicable to the study of simple societies. Then who are formalists? Formalists are those who believe that neoclassical economics is applicable to the study of simple societies. Clear till now? First, and this is the structure of the answer. Okay. So for most of the previous questions, I have given direct answer in the notes, but only thing is you will have to concise it a bit, refine it a bit. But overall structure, I have given in the notes, in fact. So first we have written about what the debate is and who initiated, they. Okay, the debate is primarily about what. Then we defined the two groups, who are the formalists, who are the substantivists. And what happened to that debate? Nothing happened. The debate was not resolved, it just faded out. It's nothing settled. Okay, so it's not that one of them won the debate. Then he argued that, here he means Karl Polanyi. Karl Polanyi argued that the term economics has two meanings. One is formal meaning. Okay, Karl Polanyi argued that fade means fade only, dilute. Okay, abruptly end. Did you ever notice any cloths getting faded after some time? Okay, then according to him, according to Karl Polanyi, economics has two meanings: formal meaning, substantive meaning. Formal meaning, substantive meaning. So now let us see what is formal meaning. Formal meaning refers to economics as logic of rational action. I wanted you to remember this word, logic, rational. In general, we use, like, say, for example, logical person is a very logical, he thinks very logically, he's a rationalist. But here, not in that context. Okay, it's a very narrow concept. One particular logic we are speaking about. What is that logic? Okay, profit loss logic. That's all. So, formal meaning refers to economics as logic of rational action and decision making, as rational choice between alternative uses of limited means. Means means resources. Means means resources. Limited, scarce. Alternative uses of limited means or scarce resources. Means what? See, there are let us suppose I have some 1 lakh rupees. There are alternative ways in which I can invest it. Okay. So there are alternative uses of it. Some of the ways in which if I invest it may be more profitable. So about that I am doing some logical, rational decision making. This is formal meaning of economics. Okay, agreed? Is formal meaning of economics clear? Formal meaning of economics is nothing but economics. Agreed? Economics, economic anthropology if you have. Economics is formal meaning of economics. Instead of differentiating, listen to the sentence carefully. Instead of differentiating as economics and economic anthropology, he is using the words formal meaning of economics, substantive meaning of economics. Got the comparison? Earlier words are economics, economic anthropology. In Karl Polanyi's terminology, he is calling economics as what we understood for economics as formal meaning of economics, and what we understood for economic anthropology as substantive meaning of economics. The second, substantive meaning, however, presupposes means presumes, assumes, right? It assumes neither rational decision making, assumes neither rational decision making means, but does not assume rational decision making. Did you understand? Neither rational decision making nor the conditions of scarcity. The sentimentalist people, they neither had the conditions of scarcity, they nor had the need of this rational decision making. Understood? The second, substantive meaning, however, presupposes neither rational decision making nor conditions of scarcity. It simply refers to the study of how humans make a living from their social and natural environment. Clear? It simply refers to the study of how humans make a living, how they make their earnings, they make their living from the social and natural environment. Okay? So, Karl Polanyi's formal meaning of economics is comparable to economics, and Karl Polanyi's substantive meaning of economics is comparable to economic anthropology. Okay. Then the formalist versus substantivist debate was not between anthropologists and economists. However, it is a disciplinary debate. Okay, let's see, if the debate is between anthropologists and economists, then it is an interdisciplinary debate, right? But this is not an interdisciplinary debate. This is among anthropologists only. Economists have nothing to do with this. Okay, so this is a disciplinary debate, not interdisciplinary, between economists and anthropologists, largely confined to the journal Research in Economic Anthropology. Okay, this debate was confined to a journal called Research in Economic Anthropology. Agreed? In this journal's different issues, they argued about this. They argued about this in different issues of this journal. Now, here I have given, see now let me have to elaborate on the argument. Okay, so what is substantivist argument? Substantivist argument is neoclassical economic principles is not applicable to primitive societies, right? Then how do they prove that it is not applicable? Now the question is, how do they prove that they are not applicable? Not applicable, okay, but how do they prove? If I ask, okay, how can you say? Then what they say? Did you understand? For that, here they are listing some differences between modern societies and primitive societies. Then finally, we will write a conclusion that when there are so many differences between primitive societies and modern societies, how can we apply the same principles to understand both the cultures? So, neoclassical economic principles are not applicable to primitive societies. This is what we are going to conclude. Did you understand? I repeat, substantivists say that neoclassical principles are not applicable for primitive societies. Okay, not applicable. But how can you say? Okay, how can you prove? Then what they are doing is they are listing out the differences between modern and primitive societies. Then conclusion comes like, when there are so many differences, treat them differently. We have to understand them differently. How can we use the same principles to understand them? Okay. For you it is settled, but for the examiner it is not yet settled. Okay, so like you have to write it in a systematic way. So for that we have to proceed a little bit more. Okay, then so now here let us see the difference between those. First of all, the principal proponents of substantivist model were, thinker names are important: Tal Polanyi, George Dalton, Paul Bohannon. Okay, so these are three substantivist thinkers, and you can also include Malinowski in this. Malinowski is also a substantivist thinker. We need not take a stand. We can write both the conclusions. We need not take a stand. Okay, if they specially mention what is your opinion on that, comment. Such words are used, then you may. Okay. So, Tal Polanyi, George Dalton, Paul Bohannon, and Malinowski also. Okay, then. So, actor-oriented economy, Raymond Firth, Harold K. Schneider. Raymond Firth, Harold K. Schneider. So, these are the people who are arguing. Got it? Next. System-oriented economy, they are production optimizers. Whereas in formal economy, they are production maximizers. Agreed? We produce as much as we can. They produce as much as they want. Right? Next. Unit of production is group. For us, unit of production is individual. I will do the job. I will get my salary to my account. If I purchase a land or a flat, it will be registered on my name. So this is all individual. Whereas in primitive societies, it is group property, community property. Even today, most of the tribal land is not owned by individuals. That is owned by the entire tribe. Okay. Then this is production for use. This is production for profit and surplus. Then here it is kinship or non-market economies. Here it is market economies. Okay. Why kinship? Because we do that occupation which our kin group were doing. Whatever your grandfather was doing, whatever your father was doing. Okay, same thing the son will also continue to do. So it was kinship or non-market economies. But here it is market economies. Next, in substantive economy, there is no concept of alienation. Okay, production optimizers means what? Just break the word optimum production. Not less, not more. So much that you want. Not minimum. Minimum is not optimum. Optimum is not minimum, not maximum. Okay, so much that we want. For example, very high temperature, very low temperature, optimum temperature, like that. That much they want. Okay. Production maximizers means we don't think about how much is sufficient for us. We think how much is possible for us. What could be the reason for the multi-billionaires still continuing to earn? Why don't they just retire and relax? Why the Ambanis, Tata, all these people should still continue to work? They already have that much with which they can purchase every luxury in the world. Then after that, why? What could be the reason? Is it even greed also? Luxuries are a little bit understandable here. Okay, means if, for example, I want to go for a foreign trip, I want a BMW car, I want an Audi car. So like these are understandable. Is it clear? But after a few crores of rupees or dollars, we can in fact purchase every luxury in the world. After that, at least people should stop earning, right? Okay, so that is production maximizers. Okay, production optimizers is sufficient for use, that's all. And there is no concept of alienation. Coming to this point, alienation. What do you mean by alienation? Being an alien, being a foreigner. For example, you are doing a job in a multinational company. Okay, are you paid for the product that you produce? If you are working in a multinational company, are you paid for the product that you produce? No, you are only paid for your labor. You are only paid for your work, services, that's all. Right? So who will get paid for the product that you produce? Who will get paid for the product that you produce? The company, the owner, the capitalist. The capitalist will get it. Means we are actually working for the capitalist. Okay, we are actually earning for the capitalist. Okay, then some students may ask me, how can we say we are also earning, like say in a software company, I'm also getting a good pay. Good, but that is for your work. That's not for the product that you produce. Okay, for the product they get profit. Okay, for the work you will get wages or salary. A decent word for it is salary. Okay, so this is alienation. Okay, because suppose a farmer who is working in a paddy field, okay, cultivating tons and tons together of paddy, may not have food to eat. He may die out of starvation, possibly. Laborer, an agricultural laborer working in a paddy field may die due to starvation, possibly. Okay, so the tons and tons of paddy that he is cultivating belongs to the landowner, the landlord, right? So this is alienation. Like alienation is a concept in capitalism. In capitalism, except the capitalist, remaining all of us are alienated. Remaining all of us are alienated. So if I'm teaching here, okay, so I'm only getting whatever it is, it may be more, it may be less. How much it is a different story. Okay, so but I'm getting for my services. Profit goes to the company, right? This is alienation. Unless and until I own a coaching center, right? So, but in substantivist economy, there is no alienation. They own what they produce. For example, if a sentinel is a tribe, if they go for fishing, they hunt some fish, they own the fish they hunted. In a forest economy, okay, in some shift cultivation, whatever they cultivate, they own it. Okay, they're not working under somebody, they're not working for somebody. Yeah. Next one, social cultural obligations, norms, values, politics, religion, or fear installed by the authoritarian leadership play a significant role in people's livelihood strategies. Whereas they does not play a significant role. It means what? Like see, social obligations, for example, in caste system, if you take, it's a social cultural obligation. Do you agree? In caste system, occupation is a social cultural obligation. It's a compulsion. For example, do lower caste people enjoy cleaning the drainages? Do they enjoy doing the unclean professions? No, it's an obligation, compulsion. Okay. Same way, Brahmin may also not enjoy like his reading Vedas, the priesthood and all that. He may like something else, but there is no choice. It's an obligation. Okay. A king's son, prince may not like to learn all this archery and all these things. He may be interested in something else. Okay. So norms, values, politics, religion, fear instilled by the authoritarian leadership. Okay, they create fear. You have to do this, otherwise you will be punished. You cannot do that. So it means what? Like this, a system is deciding what you have to do. But whereas here, none of them are playing a significant role. Next, non-capitalist pre-industrial societies have such economy, and capitalist industrial societies. Sorry, this is a spelling mistake. Capitalist industrial societies have this economy. Okay, please make that correction. This pre should not be there. Okay, non-capitalist pre-industrial societies have that, and capitalist industrial societies have formal economy. Then, now, according to Polanyi, the substantive economy is an instituted process of interaction between man and his environment. Agreed? Substantive economy is an instituted process of interaction between man and his environment. For example, for an island tribe, fishing is an instituted process of interaction between man and his environment. His environment is ocean. That is his relation with ocean. For a forest tribe, shift cultivation is an instituted process of interaction between man and his environment. Okay? Then which results in a continuous supply of want-satisfying material means. Continuous supply. For example, sentinels will get continuous supply of the fish, never ending. The ocean is having unlimited number. Did you understand? Continuous supply of what? Want-satisfying, need-fulfilling material means. Clear? Next, formal economy is a rational choice-making of individuals whose every action involves conscious or unconscious selections and all. By unconscious. Okay? For example, in a marriage, when a girl rejects a poor boy and selects a rich man, okay, may not consciously think, okay, may not consciously say to herself that I'm opting this man because he is rich. We don't speak to ourselves like that. Okay? She may say to herself that with him, my wavelength is matching, my frequency is matching. Is it clear? That is what we say to us. So it means sometimes it is conscious decision, sometimes it is unconscious. We don't know. We don't know that this is the reason. For example, a married couple, when they feel that they just want only one child, they will not discuss with each other like it's not profitable to have a second child, so let us stop with one child. This is not the way they discuss. They say in different terms. Did you understand? These are all kind of implicit things. We do not know that there is a reason. Is it clear? Okay. So like unconscious selections among alternative means to maximize the utility or to reach the culturally defined goals under the conditions of scarcity. Okay. Now, according to Polanyi, in modern capitalist economics, the formalism and substantivism coincide. Do you agree with this? In capitalist economies, the formalism and substantivism coincide. Okay, I'll tell you this in a how. Very good question. Okay, 10th class student will know everything which is there in 7th class. Okay, but 7th class student will not know everything which is there in 10th class. Okay, means what I'm trying to explain is, okay, we came from the substantivism only. Okay, for example, in animism and monotheism example that we discussed. Okay, in monotheism, say for example, monotheistic religion Christianity today also believes in animism. Agreed. But primitive tribe living in the forest today may not know about monotheism, may not practice monotheism. Presently, monotheistic religion follows animism. But presently, animistic society may not follow monotheism. If you go based on the assumption of monotheism is the most advanced form of religion. All this we discussed in religion unit. Do you remember? So, substantivism is basic. We have it. Okay, let me also explain how we have it. Okay, I said most of the decisions we take are based on that logic. But do you also agree that some of our decisions are not based on that logic? For example, when parents are not, when mother or father is not is sick, okay, and say for example the doctor says that there is no hope. But still the children will go on spending money in the hospital with little hope that maybe he will get cured, right? Where is profit in this? Okay. Or say for example, some close friend, okay. So we try to give so much to our close friends or the people we really love, we don't actually see profit in every relation, agree? Most of the relations, okay, are based on that logic, but in each and every person's life, with most of the others we may behave like that, but there will be at least one person in our life with whom we don't calculate the profit. At least one person in everybody's life. Even a thief will steal from everybody and will give it to his wife or somebody. Did you understand? Okay. So it means in capitalist societies, we have substantivism in some relations. Okay. Out of affection, if you give a gift to somebody, you will not expect return in the equal value. Okay. So there are many things which we do without calculating the profit. Okay. So according to Polanyi, in modern capitalist economies, the formalism and substantivism coincide. Market exchange is seen as the dominant mode, while reciprocity may continue in family and inter-household relations. Agreed? Reciprocity, give and take relations will continue in family and inter-household relations. and some redistribution is undertaken by the state or by the charitable institutions. Okay, what do you mean by redistribution? Redistribution is another word that I am using here. Redistribution means, let us suppose, okay, presently, like taking from rich and giving to poor. Okay, presently some people are very rich, some people are very poor. If you take some resources from the rich and give it to the poor, then the property, the wealth of the community is getting redistributed, getting distributed in a new way, right? Can I say tax system, taxes? Okay, like is a redistribution undertaken by the state? All the taxes that we pay. So the richer the people are, the more tax they pay, of course. That's not happening like that. If that happens like that, it's far better. Actually, slightly higher middle class or little rich people are the people who are actually paying the taxes. Very rich people are escaping it. Okay, so that is how. So, but in a way, in theory at least, okay, tax is the richer you are, the more tax you have to pay. Okay, so the poorer people will not pay the taxes. It means in a way this is taking from the rich and giving to the poor. Okay, so it means it is a redistribution undertaken by the state. Do we pay the taxes because it is profitable? So in that there is no profit logic. Then charity, do we do the charity because it is profitable? No, that is for satisfaction, this is for compulsion, that is for friendship. So like this we have many other things. Okay, many things other than profit cost logic, right? So we majorly have profit cost logic. In addition to that, we have friendships, emotions, charity, compulsions, etc., which are closer to the substantivist viewpoint. Okay, but whereas a primitive society, if you take, they have substantivism only, and they don't have profit cost logic in real life. Okay, they don't have this, but we have that. Got the logic? Any example of formalism? No, Libya, I said it will not be there. Do you have 10th class syllabus in LKG? That's all. Okay. Then, conclusion. Substantivists like Polanyi, George Dalton, and Paul Bohannon argue that due to these differences between simple and modern societies, neoclassical economics is not applicable to the study of simple societies. Is it appropriate conclusion for that question? But this is substantivist conclusion. Okay, but we want formalist conclusion also. It means why do they say that? Okay, it is applicable. Why do they feel that it is applicable? That also should be clear. This is conclusion for substantivist viewpoint. Now let us see the conclusion for formalist viewpoint. Okay, formalists such as Raymond Frick, Harold K. Schneider, asserted means argued that neoclassical model of economics could be applied to any society if appropriate modifications are made. Means if you make little modifications, you can apply the neoclassical principles to any society. Okay, they argued that the principles of neoclassical economics have universal validity. In every society, man is selfish, rational, faces scarcity, and wants to maximize the satisfaction of his wants. Utility maximization cannot be equated to profit maximization. Utility can include reputation. Okay, for example, in primitive societies also, let us suppose in a pastoral society, usually a man having largest herd of pigs will become the chief. Did you understand? In a pastoral tribe, a man having largest size of the herd will become the tribal chief. Means what? He may try to increase the number of pigs or number of cows. Okay, to maximize reputation, not to maximize profit, but to maximize reputation. Agreed? Or family togetherness means what? Let us suppose an island community fishing. Okay, so why do they want to catch more fish? Because tomorrow they need not go on to the sea again. Agreed? They can spend some time with the family. They again need not face the risk of life going on to the ocean to catch the fish. Agreed? So is it logical if they try to catch more fish that day? Right? So same way leisure. If they earn more today, tomorrow they can be leisure. So if not profit maximization, they also try to maximize something or the other. That is formalist argument. Okay, if you just omit the word profit, okay, then neoclassical economics is applicable to primitive societies also. Got my point? If not profit maximization. Okay. So with little modification, neoclassical economic principles are applicable to primitive societies also. They have universal applicability. Okay. Man everywhere is selfish, man everywhere is greedy, man always tries to maximize something. If it is not profit, it can be leisure time, family togetherness, or reputation. They may try to increase the size of the herd to become a tribal chief. He may try to become a rich man because rich man may become the chief. Okay. So are both conclusions clear? Can you write answer for these three questions now? Economics versus economic anthropology, what you have to structure, write down the structure if you want. First define economics, then define economic anthropology. Then say that economics is closer to substantivist model. Sorry, economics is closer to formalist model. Economic anthropology is closer to substantivist model. Okay? And then like the cow essay, Monday we spoke about essay on the cow. So same way, bring your answer back into formalist substantivist debate. Start with economics, economic anthropology definitions. Then in 1 or 2 sentences write the differences. I have given that differences also. Look at here. Economics is closer to actor-oriented or formal economy. Economic anthropology is closer to system-oriented or substantive economy. Like that you have to write. These two are the connecting linking sentences. Linking that question to this answer. Okay. Then go on writing about formalist substantivist debate. These are the 3 previous questions. Okay. Formalism evolved from substantivism? Of course, yes. Yes, Asif. Okay. So in the evolution, substantivism first, then formalism. Next we have to see types of reciprocity in simple societies. Types of reciprocity in simple societies. Okay. Reciprocal exchanges are not all alike. In 1965, an anthropologist, Marshall Sahins. Can anybody recognize him? Which theory? Can you name this theory? In the syllabus, his name is given as Sahins. Complete name is Marshall Sahins. Can anyone tell me the name of the theory? Very good. Neo-evolutionism. Neo-evolutionism. Okay, so a neo-evolutionist Marshall Zahins observed that there are three distinct types of reciprocity. Who is giving the classification of reciprocity? Reciprocity means exchange. Okay, so who is giving the classification of reciprocity? Marshall Zahins, a neo-evolutionist. Okay, according to him, three distinct types of reciprocity occur in human societies around the world. They are generalized, balanced, negative. Okay, let us see the meaning. Balanced reciprocity means what? First, let us see balanced reciprocity. Example, supermarket exchange. Okay, for example, will you go to a supermarket, purchase 1 kg wheat and give him 1 lakh rupees? Or will you go to a gold shop, purchase some gold chain and give some 50 rupees and come back? No, it means what? Exchange in equal value. That is balanced reciprocity. Okay, either equal value of goods or okay equal value of currency. Okay, but the exchange means nobody is losing here. Both are balanced. Okay, you are not losing, they are also not losing. This is called balanced reciprocity. There is an explicit expectation of immediate return. Okay, in equal amount. If you go to a supermarket, you have to give them immediately. You cannot say I'll give you next year. You have to pay them immediately. Otherwise, they will not let you go out. Okay, and equal amount, immediate equal amount. That is balanced reciprocity. Example: simple barter system and supermarket exchange. Both are examples. In simple barter system, equal value goods are exchanged. In supermarket purchase, equal value money is given in exchange. Okay, so both have the same understanding: immediate and equal quantity exchange. There is generalized reciprocity. Okay, let us suppose when your friend gets married. Okay, you have given her a gift, and when you get married in future, she may also give you a gift. But she may give you a gift, but she may not give you the gift also. Or maybe you have taken a gold ring to her, she came to your marriage just with a bouquet. That is also possible. So she may return, but she may not return immediately and in equal quantity. Agreed? Return is possible. Usually they return. Okay, usually they return, but the return may not be immediate and in equal quantity. That is called generalized reciprocity. Did you understand? Giving, taking, but may not be immediate, may not be in equal quantity. It is gift giving without expectation of an immediate return in equal quantity. And in both the cases, please add equal quantity also, equal value or quantity also. Generalized reciprocity. Parents and children example. Okay, why do parents love the sons more than the girls? Okay, you may say no, my daughter loves me more. Happy, but as a generalization. Okay, so in general, parents wait for the son, and there are many couples who unnecessarily give birth to more number of children in the process of waiting for a son. Okay, because they take care of them in the old age. For a dowry, they take care of them in the old age. Okay, daughters cannot take care even if they want. It's not related to feelings. In culture, they go for patrilocal residence. Okay, so they cannot take care of the parents most of the times. So that is the reason why they do not give much value to the daughters, right? So it means from the parent side also there is some expectation of return, but not immediate. Okay, not in equal quantity. They do so much, they just expect you to take care in the old age, right? So that is generalized reciprocity. Next one, negative reciprocity. Negative reciprocity means trying to cheat. Okay, for example, let us suppose in a village, okay, a farmer is having some land. Now he need to get his daughter married. He got a very good match. He don't want to leave the opportunity for marriage expenditure. He need money. For that, he need to immediately sell the land. Then another family, because they stay in the same village, they know the situation of this poor farmer, and they know that they came to know that they are in a need of selling this land immediately. Okay, so taking this requirement as an advantage, they want to encash his situation. Okay, and try to purchase this land for a lesser price. That is called negative reciprocity, with an explicit intention of exchanging it for lesser value. Or sometimes, let us suppose somebody in the power will threaten, okay, you give me your land, otherwise you die. Okay, so this is also negative reciprocity. Understanding the weak situation of the other, exploiting it, trying to exchange something of a higher value for something of a lower value. That is called negative reciprocity. These are the three types of reciprocity according to Marshall Zahins. Three types of reciprocity according to Marshall Zahins. There is one more thing, that is redistributive exchange or redistribution. Redistributive exchange or redistribution. Okay, that we will continue tomorrow. That we can continue tomorrow. Any doubts you have? Any doubts in today's class? And again, from this distribution also there are some around 3-4 direct questions are there. Even I saw that. Thank you. Second episode around 5 minutes something. Around 5 minutes 30 seconds somewhere. Reciprocity is divided based on like whether it is equal exchange or not. Okay, so that's all for today. After 5 minutes, between 5 to 6 minutes, it's only 1 or 2 seconds. So thank you so much. Bye bye.